out there, are you awake? Did you miss me? I have been away for some time, so surely some of you radio lovers felt completely lost in my absence. But fret not, I'm back right here in one of the KKBN studios at your service as the helpful and delightful host that you know and love. You are listening to Petals and Thorns, the news and sounds of Bucharest by night, and I am the deadliest of roses. Before we get to the hot goss, as you kids call it, let me catch you up with what I have been up to in the last month. For those of you who do not know, a year has passed since the dreaded Midnight Circus came through town and wreaked havoc among the kindred populace. Due to the valiant efforts of the then Sheriff's Office, alongside myself, the fabled Draken, and the Dracula, Vlad III himself, that threat has been neutralized, yet not without sacrifice. Bucharest still mourns the loss of Andrei, the former sheriff, and his loyal hound Marius, as well as Sam of the gangrel and several fledgelings taken by the circus. Mind you, they have not been destroyed, or at least there is nothing to confirm this. They, alongside a gathering of monsters and freaks, simply disappeared. I have had my contacts look for any sign of this carnival ever since, just in case it might reappear. And finally, a few weeks ago, one of them reached out claiming a sighting somewhere in South America. I immediately set out for this location, of course, but sadly I only found traces of their passing and some vague and conflicting information. So unfortunately for those lost and for those missing them, I'm afraid I do not have any good news other than the fact that this Midnight Circus still seems to exist and circulate. As for Bucharest, even though I love to travel, it is good to be back. I love this city, I love its kindred, and although there is plenty of excitement in many other places on earth, as a former sheriff explained it to our dear prince, we do things differently here. That is quite true. For example, 2 weeks ago, everyone's gathered at the People's Palace for a Grand Elysium, where, with Her Majesty Mary Claire's permission, some of the newly embraced fledglings were introduced to our society. Most of these honors had been granted to the Angel Love group, or House Angel Love as they call themselves now. A fresh new Toreador child for proud Mommy Charlie, with certain Bax, which I can't wait to meet and chew out, because I hear he's quite the stereotypical Rose. A young gangrel by the name of Diana, sired by the sweet and mellow Evelyn, and Alexander himself adding to the ranks of the Ventru a certain enforcer type called Zach. I hear Kenneth has also become a daddy a couple of nights ago, but unfortunately I don't know anything about his chosen child, though we can all imagine who a Malkavian would pick. The loosely affiliated, to not call them outright independent factions, have also been granted permission to embrace, and I'd be amiss not to mention the rather curious Antonio, a proud member of the Giovanni bloodline, as the new addition to the Hecata clan, as well as am I reading this right? Rain Man? Seriously? Neko must have seen something really special in this one to embrace him into the Bruja. Also, to no one's surprise, no one who understands politics anyway, there is Marcus, a very determined La Sombra, whose sire is new to the city but aims very publicly to represent the clan as Primogen. Lastly, and this one's my favorite, there is another young one, a stunning stranger who just managed to walk into the meeting dressed to the nines, who just introduced herself as Sasha of the Tsimichi. Nobody knows who this blonde bombshell is, and for some reason, my dearest darling and personal advisor to the prince, Ellie, has decided to immediately adopt her as her own. I guess she takes after her dad. Now, all of these names might not be new or news to some of you, but perhaps the fact that they were immediately sent to wipe out a Sabbat operation might be. As a test, I don't know what Mary Claire's thinking, but rumors about a secret human trafficking ring run by the Fist of Cain have been circulating for a few years now, so I don't condone sending younglings to prove themselves in their first few nights. It doesn't seem like the smartest or the nicest of decisions. Despite all of that, though, these fledglings managed to succeed and unveil that there is indeed Sabbat activity back in, or at least near, the city. I like to take this opportunity to deny the claim that I have had anything to do with this operation. Like I said, I was away, so whoever you think you saw, it was not me. And I don't need to lie about these things. Fast forward to a couple of nights ago to Eden, the famous club on Victory Way. Fire, panic, and allegedly a couple of dead hunters. Also, allegedly, some of these same kindred were reported to be seen in the area, perhaps out partying or perhaps involved in fun stuff like arson. What's more interesting though is that now we have some disputing claims over the property that lost a lot of its value following this incident. I'm not going to say more because I am so damn excited to see what's going to happen next, and I'm not spoiling it for you by making arguably educated guesses. More than that though, I have to say I'm quite excited that there's some hunter activity, especially since it was happening right next to the prince's favorite cafe, which stands literally next to, well, what remains of Eden. I don't know about you, but I can't wait for the drama to unfold, and it will. In the meantime, I for one will be out tearing up the town celebrating my return. I recommend you do the same. And oh baby, it's great to say it again as I sign off. Savor the night, Bucharest. Savor the night.